So roughly about 4 years ago, this was a sort of an annual function conducted by the Law College, where there were also felicitation. I was here, and at the time the visiting justices had suggested looking at the catchment of ILS and seeing that we get students from all these places and the problems are sort of a common thing. They suggested that ILS could do something in the SAARC context. So I was here at the birth of the idea. But thereafter, I've been attending the SAARC Law conventions, and I've seen that the real potential of this institute is actually in this, because we are not just confined to one city and one place, but we are confined to where we are covering us, we are spanning several countries and several generations of students, and the students are coming from this, they go back to their own respective countries, and so the commonality of understanding which is developed during a conclave will eventually spread into the legal fraternity. So this is the potential. ILS is looking ahead. ILS is an institute not just for today but for tomorrow, and the strength of ILS will be in the students and where they disperse to. I think that the themes that have been taken up in the SAARC Law Conclaves also have particular relevance. The conclave theme on transboundary and migration was an important theme, because that is what we see in the region, and all our countries are affected by this. So it is an issue which spans SAARC, and this year the whole idea of transboundary rivers is another very, very important theme which links all of us and becomes a common concern. So I think that ILS conclaves have done a very, very great service by actually increasing our awareness of such problems. Well, as I said, that this year I was actually seeing my own students performing, because many of the people who ask questions, I teach them in class. And first of all, there's a satisfaction that a teacher gets, in the sense that the effort that we make in imparting, more than the knowledge, the outlook that we try to impart to our students is very much being received by our students. This is a very, very intelligent bunch of students who have very, very open minds, who are inquisitive, and they are able to use the discourse of the conclave for their own benefit. Because there's a saying, you don't learn only for today, you learn for your whole life. And I think that process was evident, that the lessons and the issues that were raised in this conclave are going to live in these students. And whereas we are the people who are able to perceive the problems, this is the generation which will find the solutions, and ILS will have a very important part in the solutions. As the chair in the just concluded session said, that at some point it has to become student to student. So whatever is done in ILS is a way of knowledge sharing, but the ultimate knowledge sharing is when students talk to their fellows, and they need to talk about these issues, because the more the discourse gets embedded in their mindset, the more involved they will be, and they have the capacity to change the situation that's coming. So I think that the most important thing that the students need to do is they need to reflect. They need to reflect on what they heard, and they also have to think of how they can train themselves to meet the needs of the future.